The Cabbage Merchant is a member of the Red Lotus.
And even with Zahir locked up again, we still don't know how many Red Lotus members might be out there.
Wow! What's going on, y'all? Today we got Avatar: The Last Airbender, Cabbage Theory, Alex Bale. Original link to Alex Bale's video will be down in the description below. It's been a little minute since I've actually reacted to Alex Bale content. The last thing I reacted to, I believe it was a SpongeBob theory. I could be wrong. He made so many incredible videos and theories, and I'm actually behind on his vids. But anyway, let's hop into this thing. I'm a huge fan of Avatar, huge fan of Alex Bale. Great combination. I watched Avatar probably like 11, like double digits. You know what I'm saying? Like I've watched it so many times. Yeah. Okay, they got me.
The Cabbage Merchant from Avatar: The Last Airbender is a Fire Nation spy, and I believe he is the true villain of Avatar, secretly orchestrating the events of both shows. And also, I think he's cabbage bending, but we'll get to that part later. Now, I know that sounds crazy, but I promise you, this will be the most convincing Avatar theory you will ever hear. This is
I ain't gonna lie, seeing the Cabbage Merchant just photoshopped in the middle of the thing is hilarious. Alright, let's get it, man. I mean, it's believable that he's a spy. I mean, he's just everywhere.
Avatar: The Last Airbender. I'm guessing most people who clicked on this video have already seen it, but on the off chance you haven't, it's basically a show where some people can control one of the 4 elements. And the Avatar, the only person who can master all 4 elements, has to stop the Fire Nation from taking over the world. But why would I possibly think that a random Earth Kingdom Cabbage Merchant is actually a Fire Nation spy?
It's
and
pretty
a Cabbage
believable.
Bender, but we'll get to that
Okay,
later.
yeah, we gotta
you know,
get to
he's
the
just a
Cabbage
funny running gag character.
Rabbaroo.
All we ever see him do is
Rabbaroo.
get his cabbages destroyed.
My cabbages! My cabbages! My cabbages!
Well,
hey man,
think about
and he was
it.
in core.
We are told many times throughout the show that there are Fire Nation spies.
He was probably trying to signal the Fire Navy.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he's a spy for the Fire Navy.
How do we know you're not Fire Nation spies?
Jet, he's just an old man.
He's Fire Nation. He was sent to eliminate me.
But strangely, we never actually see any of them. But at the same time, we know there must be spies out there
Dude, we
because
never seen a Fire
someone is
Nation
giving
spy.
Zuko very detailed
You seen the
information
assassin
about
Sparky
the gang's
Sparky Boom there.
whereabouts.
We're closing in on the Avatar's trail.
There have been multiple sightings of the Avatar.
Multiple
Somehow
sightings.
Prince Zuko and the Fire Nation keep finding us.
Keep finding us.
Let me
Wow,
ask
I
you
never
this.
put that together,
Who
man.
does the gang constantly run into throughout the entire show? The Cabbage Merchant. Okay, I know it still sounds like a stretch, but don't worry.
Nah.
We're just getting started.
The spy part don't sound like a
the
stretch to
gang
me.
goes to
I'm
see a
gonna be
Fire
honest.
Nation play all about their adventures.
You guys are not gonna believe this. There's a play about us.
I forgot I feel kind of silly right now because I forgot the exact name
It's
of this
basically
episode.
just Fire Nation propaganda,
But it was one
where
of
the
my
Fire
favorite
Lord is
episodes.
shown as the good guy and wins in the
I'm
end.
literally having a great part right now.
Is mine.
I'm gonna be thinking about the
Other
name of the
than
episode the
that,
whole
the
time.
plot of the play is surprisingly accurate.
Yeah, very similar to the actual thing. Yeah.
You face.
No, Jet! What did they do to you?
The only thing they got wrong
So
by a
where did they
landslide.
get
Well, I wouldn't
all
say
of this
landslide.
information
They got
about
wrong
the
with the
gang?
ending.
His sources include singing nomads, pirates, prisoners of war, and a surprisingly
They're
knowledgeable
gonna say the name
merchant
of
of
it.
cabbage.
What is it? Merchant of Cabbage.
Surprisingly knowledgeable merchant.
Surprisingly knowledgeable.
Huh.
Wow.
Why did the Cabbage
never picked up
Merchant
on that.
and Earth
But, I
Kingdom
mean, it's
citizen
believable he's a spy.
help them write Fire Nation propaganda? Because he's actually a
Nah,
Fire
what-
Nation spy.
What's the name of that
Okay,
episode?
wait. Maybe I'm just
Fire
overthinking
Players or something?
this. Maybe he didn't necessarily know he was helping the Fire Nation. For all we know, someone just asked him about the Avatar, and he was more than willing to complain about the guy who has destroyed his cabbages many times.
Ember Island Players.
You know, he might be a little petty, but there's no reason to think he's
Yeah.
secretly trying to take down the Earth Kingdom. Right?
A sleeper agent's crazy.
In Book 2, the cabbage merchant tries to take the ferry to Ba Sing Se, but he gets rejected by the ticket lady.
I told you already. No vegetables on the ferry. One cabbage slug could destroy the entire ecosystem of Ba Sing Se.
Cabbage slugs.
Security!
If you slow it down, you could actually see cabbage, like a cabbage slug or so, fly from the
He
cabbages.
destroys his cabbages to avoid risking cabbage slugs from getting into the city. Now, this may seem like a bit of an overreaction, but Ba Sing Se is a closed-off, self-contained ecosystem. If the wrong pest got in, it could quickly spread and be devastating for the city's agriculture and economy. And you know what's crazy about all this? She was right.
Oh wow, they actually slowed it down. Wow, they actually showed the cabbage slug.
Really closely,
Wow.
as the cabbage cart gets
I didn't think they were gonna show
you
it.
can just barely see a cabbage slug flying through the air.
One cabbage slug could destroy the entire ecosystem of Ba Sing Se.
Listen to what the lady says. A single cabbage slug would destroy the
crazy.
entire ecosystem
entire
of Ba
ecosystem
Sing Se.
crazy.
If the cabbage merchant actually got into Ba Sing Se like he wanted, he would have personally been responsible for the downfall of the capital of the Earth Kingdom.
Well,
Okay, that's not like a great look for the cabbage man.
And not
but,
at that moment,
you know,
but later on it went to,
maybe it was just an accident.
But it got
No,
revived.
I refuse to accept that. Look at this guy. He is so passionate and obsessed with his cabbages.
Off with their heads! One for each head of cabbage!
Literally, his only defining trait is how much he cares about his cabbages. Does this really seem like the type of guy who wouldn't know if he had cabbage slugs? He's a Fire Nation spy! But why?
He probably had them.
He clearly has a
in there.
vendetta against
I don't know.
Aang, but why would he be intentionally
let's
trying to take down
if he
the Earth
intentionally
Kingdom?
did it.
Well, Aang is not the only one who destroys his cabbages. We've seen him try to enter both Omashu and Ba Sing Se, and both times Earth Kingdom bureaucrats destroyed his cabbages.
What kind of slum do you think this is?
I've never seen him
Security!
get his cabbages through anywhere.
And these are only the times that we actually know about. For all we know, this is a regular occurrence for him. And then he's forced to watch as they immediately let Aang, his mortal enemy, inside directly after him.
My cabbages! Enjoy your mushrooms.
We will.
Security!
It is my pleasure to help.
All right, we scammed that lady good.
He didn't
probably
even
just
have a
got
ticket
sick
to
of
get
the
into Ba
Avatar.
Sing Se. What the hell? And when Aang does destroy his cabbages, and he tries to get justice,
You're gonna pay for this! Off with their heads! One for each head of cabbage!
guess what the Earth Kingdom authorities do to Aang?
What is your judgment, sire?
Throw them
A feast.
a feast.
They
Bro, I
throw
cannot
him a feast.
cannot stop thinking
The
about
cabbage
what the
merchant
Ember
has
Island
just
player
as much
played.
reason to hate
description
the Earth
said.
Kingdom. And I think the
The
years of
surprisingly
abuse and
knowledgeable
special treatment for the
cabbage
Avatar
merchant.
radicalized him into
I've never
becoming
picked
a
up on
Fire
that.
Nation spy, attempting to take down the Earth Kingdom from within using infested cabbages. And you know what? I don't even think this was his only attempt to do this.
I told you already! No vegetables on the ferry!
I told
The
you
ticket
already.
lady says, I told you already.
I told you already.
This is not the first time he's tried smuggling cabbage slugs into Ba Sing Se. And when he tried to enter Omashu,
Like Alex Bale would
listen
be a
to
great
why
lawyer,
the
bro.
guards rejected him.
Rotten cabbages? What kind of slum do you think this is?
Rotten cabbages. I think the cabbage man was once again trying to sneak in infested cabbages into Omashu. And you know what? I think this time he actually succeeded. Despite being rejected and having his cabbage cart completely destroyed, just a few minutes later we see him inside of the city with a whole new cart full of cabbages.
That is right. He did get in there. I'll be forgetting. I'll just be looking at the cabbage merchant and laughing. I never really put too much thought
Like
behind.
what? Did he just find a spare cart full of cabbages somewhere? No. I actually think these are the same cabbages. We know from Return to Omashu that there is a secret sewer entrance into the city beneath the gate,
A secret passage?
Scared me to get to
which is exactly where the merchant's cabbages were thrown. So I think the Cabbage Man went down there to retrieve his cabbages, discover the secret entrance, and successfully brought the infested cabbages into the city to weaken it for the Fire Nation. And you know what's really crazy about this? It worked. The next time we see Omashu, it's been conquered by the Fire Nation.
That is
The
correct.
Earth Kingdom city of
Oh no.
They even make a point to tell us how surprising this is and how Omashu had never been conquered for the entire 100-Year War.
I can't believe it. I know the war has spread far, but Omashu always seemed untouchable.
Up until now, it was.
So why is it now suddenly so vulnerable? It's because of the Cabbage Merchant! And this is also exactly what happened to Ba Sing Se. He was rejected entry, his cabbages got destroyed, but then later we see him inside of the city with cabbages. What, did he take the fucking Serpent's Pass? And then shortly after he arrives and starts selling his cabbages, the city gets conquered by the Fire Nation. I'm starting to notice maybe a little pattern here.
Yeah.
You can't deny it anymore. There's too many.
He always
connections.
finds his way
The
to get in,
Cabbage
though. I
Merchant is
don't know why I
working for the
didn't
Fire
peep that.
Nation to help take down the Earth Kingdom.
Bro gets denied,
and
doesn't get his
spy
card
on
in.
the Avatar.
Next time we see him in there
And
with the card.
speaking of which, how exactly is the Cabbage Merchant spying on the gang? Like, obviously they've bumped into each other a couple times, but Zuko and the Ember Island players have a ton of information about the gang.
Here's what you missed. We went to the Fire Nation, and you got better, and I got a sword, and I think Combustion Man died.
Like, way more than anyone should have. It
Is
almost
somebody a
feels
rat
like
on
there's
the team?
something else going on here. And if you don't believe me, I reached out to a certified Avatar expert to see if there was any more examples of the Fire Nation knowing things they shouldn't.
Right, so like in book 3, when everyone thinks Aang is dead, how does Zuko's assassin Combustion Man keep finding them? It couldn't have just been dumb luck 3 times in 8 episodes that he was just around, right? Seems unlikely. And how'd they know to put Toph in a wooden cell anyway?
I'm gonna turn you in and collect a reward. Then you metal bend yourself out of jail.
Hey, what kind of cell is this?
A wooden one.
If you think about it, no one in the Fire Nation should know that metal bending exists. Toph only created it a few weeks ago, and the only people that have seen it are from the Earth Kingdom and the Fire Nation troops aboard that ship who were probably just horribly
I might need to
killed by
watch
the
some of
Serpent.
that
And Toph never
overanalyzing
uses metal
Avatar.
bending in her
I ain't
scans
gonna
in
lie.
that episode, only earth bending. So why in the world would the Fire Nation town guards
They
think
did-
that
oh,
use
wow.
a wooden cell when they're not even aware that metal bending is a thing?
Thank you, Mr. Overanalyzing Avatar. So,
They had
how
a
could the
metal
Fire
one
Nation
right next to the
possibly know
wooden
all of
cell.
this? Especially the stuff in Book 3 when the Cabbage Merchant isn't even around. It's almost like the Fire Nation has another way to spy on the gang. A way that still involves the Cabbage Merchant, even if he isn't nearby. Okay, here's where my theory goes into full-on tinfoil hat
Cabbage
conspiracy
bending.
mode, so just brace yourself. There's a really strange detail in the episode The Puppet Master, an episode that the Cabbage Merchant isn't even in. But still, I honestly think it's one of the strangest things in the entire show. In this episode,
the
the
episode
gang
with
goes
Hama.
to a Fire
Yeah, that
Nation
was scary
market,
as crap.
and Katara buys a cabbage. Except there's something very weird about this cabbage. It clearly has
A
a
face
very
and a
creepy
nose,
looking
bro?
face on it. Like
Cabbage
I
bending?
swear this is
Wow.
actually in the show. I did not edit this in. It's never even acknowledged in the episode. It's just a weird, creepy face
Wow.
watching the characters for
Watched
no
Avatar,
reason. Why in the
double
world
digits,
would
11,
the
12.
animators
You
include
know what I'm saying?
this?
Double
It's
digits.
so
I've watched
weird.
Avatar, and I've never seen that
Okay.
face on the cabbage.
So I have a theory, but what I'm about to say is gonna sound completely insane. It's probably the stupidest possible thing I could say, but what if the Cabbage Merchant is using the cabbages to spy on the gang? Yes, I believe that the Cabbage Merchant is a cabbage bender. Okay, wait, don't
that
go.
Momo theme.
I know that sounds stupid, but I swear it makes sense. Just hear me out.
All right, we
In this
listening.
show, there is a precedent for being able to spy on people through vegetation, with the swamp.
I think I know how to find them. Everything is connected. Come on, we've got to hurry.
And it isn't even just like an avatar power either. Toph can use the swamp vines to literally see the entire world.
I'm more connected to the world than you've ever been. I can see Sue and Lin, Zhaofu and Republic City. I see everything.
Now, obviously, this cabbage is not part of the swamp. But a major theme of Avatar is how separation is just an illusion and everything is connected.
I get how the tree is one big thing, but the whole world?
Sure. You think you're any different from me, or your friends, or this tree?
The greatest illusion of this world is the illusion of separation. Things you think are separate and different are actually one and the same. Even the separation of the four elements is an illusion.
We're all connected. Everything is connected.
So everything in this world, including the cabbage merchant and cabbages across the entire world, are connected. And I think the merchant is somehow tapping into this connection to spy on the gang. I think like technically you could do this with anything in Avatar. He's just like really honed his ability on cabbages. He's cabbage bending, and I have evidence to prove it. This weird spiritual connection to cabbages explains why he's so obsessive and protective of them.
Off with their heads! One for each head of cabbage!
And it also explains why he's constantly feeling them for some reason. He's not just randomly caressing a cabbage, he's connecting with it through cabbage bending. And if you don't believe me, one time while he's feeling a cabbage, we can see him literally sense the gang coming.
He could have heard them. He could have heard them.
There was a falling sound, but if you listen closely, he senses them before we can hear the sound.
Okay, before the sound. Wow.
He sensed them through the cabbage. This also explains how he would have been able to find the secret entrance into Omashu. His cabbages fell down near the entrance, allowing him to sense it. I know it sounds crazy, but the evidence is here. The cabbage merchant is cabbage bending. Every time we see cabbages in this show, the merchant is using them to spy on the gang. He is always watching them. He's not just some random, funny background character. He is a highly skilled double agent working for the Fire Nation. And if you still, after all of this, don't believe that, then let me ask you this. How did a failing cabbage merchant get enough money to start an extremely successful technology company in the Legend of Korra?
Cabbage Corp, Republic City's trusted name in technology for over 50 years.
No! Not my Cabbage Corp!
Not my Cabbage Corp!
Massive statue of him in Republic City. They don't just hand these out. Not even Katara got a statue. The Cabbage merchant built his empire with blood money he was paid by the Fire Nation to take down the Earth Kingdom. And he has gone on to become one of, if not the most rich and powerful people in all of Avatar. Alright, there you go. Bet you didn't expect the Cabbages guy to be the true villain of the show. You know, at least he doesn't seem to be doing it anymore. In fact, in Legend of Korra, his company is actually the main supplier of airships for the Earth Kingdom now. So, you know, it seems like he's gotten over his grudge. Maybe this is even his way of trying to make up for all the damage he's done to the Earth Kingdom. You know, maybe this story
is that the same Cabbage merchant?
A happy ending after all.
Don't worry, I have a plan. These airships that Cabbage Corp sold to the Earth Kingdom are way cheaper than the ones Future Industries built. Now that's just shoddy workmanship.
Oh my god. Oh my god. He's still fucking doing it.
It's crazy.
The controls are busted. It's not my fault this airship's a hunk of junk.
Man, Cabbage
Even
Corp
generations later, the Cabbage Merchant is still secretly weakening the Earth Kingdom. But why? Is he still working for the Fire Nation? Wait a second. No, he can't be. In Legend of Korra, the Earth Kingdom and the Fire Nation are not enemies anymore. The new Fire Lord is even like super against the idea.
He could have a vendetta against, you know, the Earth Kingdom.
The Fire Nation has spent too much of its history fighting nonsense wars, and I refuse to drag my nation into another one unless there's no other choice.
Why is the Cabbage Merchant still doing this? Who is he working for? Oh my god. It's so obvious. How did I miss this? The Cabbage Merchant is a member of the Red Lotus. The Red Lotus is an anarchist organization from Legend of Korra Book 3, and we're told that there are more Red Lotus spies out there, even though we never actually end up seeing them.
And even with Zahir locked up again, we still don't know how many Red Lotus members might be out there.
Wow!
That kind of sounds familiar. They hate governments and secretly took down the Earth Kingdom from within. You know, that actually kind of reminds me of someone. They hate the Avatar and even tried to kill her.
Now, destroy the Avatar!
Off with their heads! One for each head of cabbage!
And each member of the Red Lotus is a highly unique and specialized bender. Cabbage bending. No, that's crazy. He can't be.
Hey,
he's not an anarchist.
Alex Bale, bro. He can make a very convincing argument. Varric?
The Red Lotus.
Oh, I was about to say. I mean,
that originally
Varric was
split
kind of
off
snaky.
From the White Lotus.
We are what the White Lotus was meant to be. But after the 100-Year War, the White Lotus lost its true purpose. Its members came out of hiding and openly served the Avatar.
And you know, you'd probably think that if they're just like the White Lotus but more extreme, their logo would probably be just a red version of the White Lotus's logo, but no. They did a full-on redesign. It doesn't even look like a lotus flower anymore. But
I
you
didn't
know
even
what
know
it
that was
does
the red.
look like?
Okay, you about to say a cabbage?
A fucking cabbage!
It
It's a
kinda
fucking
does.
red cabbage! You can't keep getting away
kinda
with this!
does.
Fuck! Okay, bye! Thanks for watching my funny cabbage video. Goodbye! I think I might have really fucked up my voice on this one. Yeah,
fun.
that's my theory. Thanks again to Overanalyzing Avatar for helping out with
I'm
this
about to watch
theory.
some of
That
his
guy has
videos.
like an encyclopedic knowledge of this show, so go check him out.
A cabbage merchant in Avatar? What are you talking about?
Man, I gotta watch
I know I'm not like the
Overanalyzing
first
Avatar.
person to ever notice some of these details, but as far as I can tell, no one's actually connected all the dots like this before. I'm still working on that big ol' final SpongeBob bonus video
Oh, you
that I
are?
keep talking about. I know you guys have been waiting a long time for it, but
Almost
you
forgot
know,
about
it's
that.
just a very big project, and I still gotta post smaller videos like this in the meantime.
Alright,
That
we don't
video's
mind
gonna
these
be over
videos.
4 hours long.
4
and
hours?